the next part of this, we need to take the unit that houses the hands, and I'm going to redraw all these hands. So now I've gone and drawn the circle. You can't see it on here, but I've etched it in. So we have the circle on there. I've gone ahead and added the smaller circle here. That is for that little part there. And I'm now going to cut it out on the laser cutter. Got the circle cut and did a test fit. This looks pretty good. Fits on there nicely. I didn't put any of the screws in yet that go in behind it. There's a little screw that keeps us from wobbling around. And I'll also have to build a box to hold the box, because as you can see, it kind of moves around and that's not good. All right, so now I'm going to make the hands. Here is the minute hands. It's not going to be in 3D, but I went ahead and rendered it in a 3D look. Let's see if I can rotate this. There we go. So there's the 3D version, but it's going to be flat because if I'm going to laser cut it, it doesn't need to be in 3D. If I was doing this on my CNC machine where it has a physical bit that goes and routes out that, then this would be useful. But we're doing it with the laser because it'll give me a cleaner cut. And also with the wood that I'm using, it's going to be extremely thin because this needs to be lightweight. So I still got the second hand, and I'm actually using these as my templates. The second hand will be a smaller one. I'll probably this one over here. This is what it looks like before you punch it out of the wood. And if it works right, and it looks like it did cut all the way through, this should just fall right out. Being careful not to mess up the little pieces there. There we go. There we go. And let me see if I can get that little piece out in the middle. Hold on a second. There we go. So I just need to make the other hands. One of the problems with this particular type of wood is that it splinters really easy. So I'm going to have to get this stained and sealed so it doesn't break, because it's like plywood. That's what it is. So I like that. That looks pretty good. I could make it a little bit longer, but I got to fit the numbers in here. So this may be perfect. We'll see. So one of the things I always forget to do is I need to cut out the circle first. So you can see what it did. It kind of pushed it to the edge. And I knew that was going to happen. This is just a test piece. If I really wanted to, I could go in the back here and do it again. But the main point is that this really needs to be etched first and then cut it out. And what would fix that, over here, I put the circle for cutting exactly around the etching, and then they both are united. Instead of cutting these out, taking it off, putting it back, and then trying to align it. Sometimes I'm really good at doing that, but this laser is not that easy to align the wood, so it's better for it to just cut it out. So the only thing I'm going to do now is I'll give it a light sanding with probably 1000 grit, and then come over and poly it and stain the hands, which again, it's not that bad. You know, I could come back also and trim off the outer edge, and that should help it look a little bit better. But for what I need right now, this will work, and then I'll probably start making more of these at some point. And that's it. Well, I guess I'll show you the finished after I poly it and everything. Alright, so I've gone ahead and added some stain. This actually has a higher contrast on my camera than it does in real time or in actuality, but I think that will get better as the stain cures. This one I only put poly on it. That's what it would have looked like if I had put stain on it. I think just putting the poly is better, because this one was already a dark stained color anyway. Here are the hands. These did get stained, if you remember they were white. So here we go. So now let me go ahead and put the mechanics on the back. I may stain it before that, but in your time it'll be done. Alright, so there it is. And it's running. As I said, I messed up. I should have etched, then cut. I'm so used to doing it in 2 parts. And on my old laser, it was easy to line up a circle. On this new laser, it isn't, because it's got to be so close to the piece that you're etching. But everything else came out nice. The only thing I'm going to do is I'll add weight to the back of here. In other words, small circle, a larger circle in the back, and I'll balance this pointer, same on this one. And then I'll try to do a second hand. But some people like that, but I think I want to cut it as opposed to that. I'm pretty sure I can cut it even thinner, because that's pretty thin from the end there. So, there it is. I like it. You all have a happy Advent, and see you later on. God bless.